I'm gonna try to do this before I have heat exhaustion. I got a new light today. This is a high bay UFO light. The contents of the box are pretty straightforward. Get a light, instructions, and a mount. It has a bracket, so you could hook it to the wall, has an AC plug, and then something I'm going to have to figure out are these connections for a dimmer. We have the model number, 150 watts, 50 to 60 hertz, 5000K brightness, beam angle of 120 degrees. Now I have plenty of lights in here. Sorry about those cicadas. It's that time of year here in Texas. So I didn't really need another one. I think my shop is pretty well lit. But the idea of this slim profile LED array and just the fact that they call it a UFO light, I don't know about you, but I appreciate that. This looks to be what they call the UFO F1 model. The instructions that they give you are vague. Basically, the first step is turn off the power. Second step, install the hook or the chain or wherever you're going to be mounting it. And then that's pretty much it. So, without really knowing what I'm doing, I'm going to leave these dimmer cables capped. They do come with some shrink tube on them. I don't think we'll have to worry about that. And I'm just going to plug this sucker in and see what happens. All right, ready? Holy crap. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's bright. That's bright. That's bright. I'd call that a positive test. It does come on. I didn't look directly at it. I don't want to go blind this early. The hook that it gives you is a little bit strange. It does have a threaded end on it that will thread into the back of the light. But it's not all that adjustable. There is a set screw on it. So you could put it in whatever adjustment you want. Lock down the set screw here. I think that hook is intended for, I don't know, some type of pole arrangement? I'm not quite sure. I think I'm just gonna mount it maybe to the roof. I might actually mount it out facing the driveway because I don't need something this ginormously bright in my garage. Like I said, I think I'm pretty set, but it might be nice to have some extra light outside. Certain versions have an optical sensor input that you can install as well. That will turn it on by itself. This one does not have that. So I can't use it as a motion light, but they do have versions with that capability. All right, so I think I'm gonna put the light right about here underneath the overhang. And then I have power coming down this conduit to a power box outside. Eventually I might tap into that and put the cord in there so you don't have to see it, but for now it's just gonna be what it is. So instead of using that hook thing, I'm just gonna be using the bracket. And for right now, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. I think about a 45-degree angle ought to be good. It's pretty decent. This way I'll have some light pointed towards the car if I have it parked right in front of the driveway. And I can always tilt it out if I need any sort of extra light out further in the driveway. And once nightfall comes, we'll test this thing at night and see how bright it is. All right, let's get some lag bolts going. Got these little sliders on it. Hopefully my bolts will go through. Yep. Washers will not, but that's okay. And this is the story of my life right here. I am so close, but yet so far away. So there it is. It's pointed about towards the cars. I could lift that up a little bit, but that's exactly where I wanted it to be. It doesn't take up a lot of room. I'm gonna get an extension cord for that thing down there just so I can either run it to that outlet or run it back inside somehow. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do this yet. But as far as setup, pretty easy if you're just gonna mount it to the wall. I might try to come up with something at some point, kind of like the speakers I set up, because this is very limited. You know, it only rotates this way and this way now. It'd be nice if it could also do that, give me a full range of motion. But for right now, I think we're gonna be just fine. As you can see, it is super bright outside. It's like 2 p.m. Gonna wait for the sun to go down and then show you what this thing looks like at night. 3, 2, 1. All right, it's not super dark, but you get the idea. Let's test it out. Right, so this is with the light on. Here it is off. Back on again. Angled more towards the street. That's wild. So I'm not sure how well that's coming off in the video. The light is not pointed directly at it. But as you can tell, it's dusk. The sun has just gone down. And this light is doing an amazing job. So there's the light. It is ridiculously bright. I'm sure all my neighbors are going to hate it. If I leave it in this orientation, I might have to build some sort of a shield so I don't blind everybody. Just to show you that there's no lights on, no camera trickery. That's what we're getting. So a pretty decent light. Kind of surprised how bright it actually is. I mean, I don't know why I would be surprised. There's tons of LEDs in there, so it does make some sense. I think it's a bit overkill for me. I think this would make a great floodlight for somebody with a large property. If I used it just for a garage light, I think it would be too much. Didn't really put off a lot of heat just in that small time that it was on. It's warm, but not bad. So more of a floodlight than a shop light, unless you have really tall ceilings. My garage ceiling is not tall. If you're interested in the light, I'll leave a link down in the description. These guys were nice enough to send me one for an unbiased review. It's a great light. It's super bright. Looking forward to incorporating it into that conduit that I showed y'all earlier. Maybe putting it on a switch. So if I end up doing some work out in the driveway late at night, I'd definitely be able to see what I was doing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give me a like and think about hitting that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Thank you for the makers of this UFO light for giving me the opportunity to review it and share it with you all. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. And as always, thank you for watching.